What is happening, people? Welcome back to the show. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Wednesday. It's Pro Wrestling Weekly. Double episode this week. What more would you want? Last night we did a great review of AEW Revolution. Big shout out to everyone who was in the chat last night. Really enjoyed the conversation. Good to see everyone's views and opinions on how they felt about it and stuff like that. But really enjoyed doing a review on it, and all the other chat that goes in it and all that. Of course, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, all the usual good stuff. And don't forget to check out the audio shows. They go out next day, as always. Joining me in the chat, dare I say, some rosebuds in there. 10 years ago to this day, Leo Kruger became Adam Rose. Remember? How could we forget? Din, 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 din. How could we forget? Eno's in the chat. What's the crack, Niall? Sean is in. What's up, Niall? Hope you're all good. Eno, very emotional, that John Tenta documentary. Haven't watched it yet, but I believe it's very, very good. I'm going to catch it tonight, and I might even drop a little review about it. You might even get another show. Let's see what happens if I can fit it in. Daz is in. What's the crack, Niall? I'm all good, Daz. All good. Richie, how his life had ended after being diagnosed with cancer and passed away. Yeah. Always a tough one, these dark sides. Always a tough one. Dark side of the ring, always knocking it out of the park. Absolute 100%. Will do a review of it. No, Adam Rose was great crack. He was brilliant, wasn't he, Sean? I loved it. Him and all the Rosebuds and stuff like that. I remember they did a show down in the Tree Arena, and he was on it and all. And I remember Paul Tracy was one of them. Duncan was one of them. Rachel was one of them. There was a bunch of men there. I think Maxo was one as well and stuff like that. No, classic stuff. Fun times. But listen, we got a decent show tonight. We're going to take a look back at what happened on Raw, and we're going to be talking about the latest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame announced today. We're also going to be talking about Paul Heyman. The biggest discussion coming out of Paul Heyman's announcement into the WWE Hall of Fame 2024 is who is going to induct Paul Heyman. So we're going to be asking you that tonight to make your case for your choice of who should induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame. I was kind of thinking about this today, and I was thinking, because he has spanned so much and there's so much history, I was thinking, maybe they need to do it a little bit differently. Maybe they need to have a number of people to induct them in there. And maybe I have an idea when we come to it, and let me know your thoughts on it. Does this work for you? We had a little bit of an out one there with the Undertaker on the mic walking around the ring with all the different ring gear that he used to wear and stuff like that and all. It was an amazing night and stuff like that, and how he reflected back on his career was super cool. And I wonder for Paul Heyman, could you do something similar to that, but maybe just have a number of people induct them? But we'll get your thoughts on it and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about Rhea Ripley versus Becky at WrestleMania. Are you satisfied that this is a one-on-one? Would you like to see potentially Liv Morgan inserted into that match as a triple threat? Would you like Nia Jax then to go in as a fatal four? Let me know what you think on that one. We're going to touch on Sammy Guevara getting suspended by AEW. We're going to be talking about John Cena's interview with Chris Van Vliet. We're going to be talking about, of course, WrestleMania, and a few little updates on the world, WWE World, the artist formerly known as Fan Access. A couple of announcements on that. So we'll go through that for you, because we want to keep anyone who's going to Philly. Let us know if you're in the chat, or if you're a subscriber. If you're heading to Philly this year, let us know. We're going to be updating from now all the way till the 2-night spectacular. What the meet and greets are, what's going on around Philly, all that kind of stuff, to keep people posted and abreast of what's going on. Let's see, where we go. Gone way down on this already. There we go. Eric's in. Big up, Eric. Hello, Niall. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday for the Revolution review. I thought it was a decent show, and Sting had a wonderful send-off. Yeah, I think so. I think most people kind of felt that way, bar Jim Cornette. Yeah, and you wouldn't believe the Rosebud Illuminati. I know, yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I was looking at the original video they did today, Sean, the one it's kind of in the nightclub and stuff like that. And Braun Strowman's just strolling around and all this kind of thing. It was classic stuff. No way they were all involved. That's so cool. Yeah, they were, yeah. I'll try and dig out. There's a picture floating around somewhere of them in all the gear. I can't remember who did the bunny. Did Paul Tracy do the bunny? Or was it Duncan? One of them did the bunny anyway, and it was cool. I'll see can I dig out the picture. I have it somewhere. Jack Perry joined House of Tougher New Japan anniversary show today. Jack Perry, New Japan, yeah. Stunning Steve Austin, Aces is calling. I presume that's to induct Paul Heyman, isn't it? We'll start with that in a few minutes anyway. Eric, it would seem really awkward for them to completely ignore Brock since he was such a big part of Heyman's recent years. They're going to ignore it, aren't they? We know that that's the case, Eric, but we know they're going to ignore it. Bonkers, my friend, how are you? Looking forward to this week's football and all, no doubt. Now, it should be one-on-one match between Rhea and Becky. You're going one-on-one. I get the feeling they're going to meddle with it. Steve Austin should induct Paul Heyman. Yeah, we got Steve Austin here, yeah. WWE Saudi Arabia pay-per-view in May. 1-0 City. There you go, Acers. Keep us updated. And Sean, I hope it was Tracy. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, no, they put up pictures backstage and stuff like that. It was really cool. Will Roman or Rock on SmackDown this week? I think both are on it, aren't they? I think they're pinned now. I think Rock, as far as I know, is going to be on every SmackDown now. Did they not put up a listing that he's going to be on every SmackDown between now and Mania or something like that? And no doubt they'll want to answer the confirmation of the tag match that was confirmed on Raw. So we'll go through that as well and get your thoughts on that as well. So look, we'll start with Heyman. Let's start with Paul Heyman. Right, who do you think? What way do you think this should go? Who do you think should induct him? I've been listening on a lot of the channels there, and I think there's no right or wrong opinion on this, really. You know what I mean? It's just a question of, in terms of your own fandom and your own wrestling fan thing, who you feel should induct him. There's a case for everyone, so but what I was kind of thinking, if you look at the way his career and how it has spread and stuff like that, you could start off with, say, Tommy Dreamer, and he could come out and give the ECW side of things. You could move then into Austin, and Austin could go through his kind of stuff. You could have the Dudleys do a bit. You could have Steve Austin in there doing his thing. Remember Austin pulling that promo that time when he was brought in and stuff like that. You could have him then moving into Punk, and then potentially have them finish with Roman. Now, is that too much? Is that overkill? Would they do that? How long would it take? Who knows? Is it worth when you're inducting someone like Paul Heyman? Is it worth having less inductees in that year and apportioning more time to it? What do you think? What do you think in terms of Paul Heyman, and what way do you think it would go? Where are we? Acers. Rhea Ripley retains against Becky at WrestleMania. You're not feeling that Becky vibe. I know it can't be Brock, but Punk would be really good. I think he would, but I think with Punk, I know the Paul Heyman guy stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I think that might be the route that they go. But will he cover enough of it? Will he cover? Remember, because the backdrop to this, the interesting point that was made today, I was listening to Bully Ray and Busted Open with Dave LaGreca, and the one thing that came out of it, the backdrop to this is it's in Philadelphia, ECW. So you have to focus on a lot of that stuff as well. That has to be a big part of this. That would be my view on it. And I don't know whether Punk gives you enough. So I think a number of people have to be involved in this. Imagine it's Dreamer and he mentions how he wanted to kill him. Yeah. And listen, isn't that what we want to hear? This is the stuff that we want to hear. Eric, Roman Reigns could definitely induct, provided he's willing to show up for the event. I like that, Eric. I do like that. Pacers, Paul Heyman already rejected Hall of Fame in 2004. Yeah, he ain't rejecting this one, though. Bonkers, Bull Nakano inducted by Medusa. Yeah, we're going to come to Bull, actually. Could be an interesting one, that one. I tell you, that was a kind of a shot from the bow today. I didn't expect Bull Nakano to be the next announcement. And I don't think when we discussed the Hall of Fame on the podcast we've been doing over the last couple of months, certainly since before the Rumble in January and all, when we were talking about the Hall of Fame, I don't think anyone thought Bull Nakano. Kenny saying, big up Kenny, could do a cool video package of all the OG Heyman guys telling stories, but ultimately I think Punk would be perfect. Yeah, that's a good shout as well. Not a bad shout as well. Via satellite, as they say, Kenny. Hey, via satellite, like The Rock. Via satellite. Acer's Punk special referee for World Heavyweight Championship WrestleMania. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's confirmed for WrestleMania, how you feel about that, and some of the rumors that have been floating around. And I really want to get your thoughts on what way this intercontinental situation is going to develop. Match announced for next week. So we're going to have a look at that, and you're going to tell me what way you think that's going to go, how that's going to lead into WrestleMania, who Gunther's going to face, and what you think the outcome is going to be. Let me know your thoughts on that. City 2-0 up, done and dusted. No point in even updating us anymore. I just, feck's sake, oil and duck Paul Heyman. Tell you, you're a Paul Heyman guy, aren't you? You know, Eric, crazy that Roman Reigns is wrestling 2 matches in one weekend in the year 2024. Getting him to show up for an award ceremony might tire him out completely by Sunday. Can you imagine? Oh, God. He has to show up anyway. They all attend the Hall of Fame generally, don't they? That could be the secret plan between Rock and Heyman to displace Roman. Imagine that's the story. Good Lord. Taz's story on Instagram about Heyman was absolutely 100%. Acer's gone with Sami Zayn, jumping in all the time. So what are we thinking? Are we thinking maybe, like Kenny said, a video package from a few of them and stuff like that, but maybe Punk front and central? Is that the way you would think it goes? Roman's a big call, isn't it? Roman's a big call. That might be the way, because if we think WrestleMania is going to go the way it's going to go, the bloodline situation is going to be quite dampened down, isn't it? So that might be the perfect send-off for the wise man as well. If he's going to move on and start looking after maybe the Braun Breakers of this world or whatever it is, you know what I mean? That might be the separation time and stuff like that, which would be very, very cool WrestleMania weekend. And the Hall of Fame induction with Roman might be a nice touch on that, you know? But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Let us know your thoughts as you're thinking about it and stuff like that as well. Very interesting stuff. What did we make of Raw this week? Cody Rhodes and Seth, of course, rocking up, accepting the challenge from The Rock and Roman for the tag match on night 1, with the stipulations that obviously if Cody wins, no bloodline interference, night 2 for the belt. But if Cody loses, it's going to be bloodline rules. And what did you make of Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins was an interesting one as well, wasn't it? How he kind of stare he gave to Cody Rhodes and stuff like that and all. And it was gas. They were talking about him looking like a highlighter and all that kind of stuff as well. Gunther defeated Dominic Mysterio via submission. Did anyone see the beatdown Gunther laid on Dominic Mysterio? Good Lord. He chopped that man inside out. As big a beatdown as I've seen from Gunther. And that includes the matches with Sheamus and Drew. Baszler and Stark defeated Chance and Carter for a chance at excuse the pun, for a chance at the tag titles. I like the team of Baszler and Stark. This, funny enough, is one now that it's kind of caught my attention. Certainly now, because Baszler's kind of been somewhat out in the wind since Ronda left. But now she's come back in, and the team of her and Stark, quite a powerful tag team as well. So let us know your thoughts on that. Nia Jax defeated Lynch via disqualification, of course, with the interference. Andrade defeated Cruz. I'd forgotten about Apollo Crews totally, Balor and Priest defeated Vinci and Kaiser, Imperium. What you make about this? You've got Balor and Priest feuding with Imperium. You've got Gunther sitting out here with the IC belt. You've got JD McDonough in this match to go on to WrestleMania for the IC belt. Would it be JD? Does JD have a chance? Would it make sense? Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's go back in here to the The comments. Dino's in. Big up, Dino. My brother, how are you? Good to see you in there. When is our Niall going into the Hall of Fame? Good Lord, man. Good Lord, imagine. Gunther will probably, it'll be the Warrior Award I'll end up getting. Gunther will probably be face either Gable or Sammy. Both seem likely to win. Yeah, it's a good shout, Eric. I like Gable. What do you make of Sammy? Would Sammy be the way to go? Dylan's in. Big up, Dylan. I would have loved to have seen Rock versus Roman. Never say never. Never say never. Has to happen, doesn't it? Someone has to declare themselves head of the table. And you got shades of it there last week as well, Dylan. Remember when Roman put the arm across the Rock? You know, about that whole acknowledge me thing and stuff. So they're bubbling that under there as well as a little kind of side hustle, as they say. Daz, did anyone check out that link I put in the wrestling chat? Yes, I haven't, Daz, but I will be checking it out tonight. I catch up in the evening time because I was flat out today. I'm calling Dustin Rhodes to return. Not a bad show. Don't think too many people would be upset with that. Kenny's in. Dom got turned inside out by Gunther. Slaps was hilarious. That one where he chopped him in the corner and he literally did a somersault. Good Lord. Seth is prioritized the bloodline, then his world title belt. Yeah. Bonkers. I was only talking about that today. I think Seth has his eyes on that world title. That Roman title, I think he has his eyes set on that, and there's definitely something coming. This ain't going to play out the way people think. Stephen, do you think we will ever see Brock again in the WWE? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see all this stuff that comes out first. And, as we say, sometimes we're just on the tip of the iceberg on this stuff, so I don't really know, but we'll have to see. But I mean, when you think about everything that's coming out in relation to all these allegations and stuff, and how it's just taking massive chunks of blocks of stuff in that library, like if you think about the Attitude Era and you think if that goes onto Netflix and if you think if they go full bore on that and want to take out anything that's kind of, there's not going to be much left. That chop on Tom and Nick is still hurting my chest. Never mind Dom's. Yeah, my God, the man is going straight to the top in the NXT. 18-24 months. He has every attribute in his locker. Yeah, absolutely. John, imagine it was JD. It'll probably be Chad or Sammy though, but Gunther isn't capable of having a bad match. Absolutely not. And listen, he's had some good work in there as well. He'll have a good one with Sammy, no doubt. He'll have a good one with Chad. If that's what happens and stuff like that. But I just get the feeling, if you think about it, it's like when I'm talking about Roman, how in order for him to drop the belt, there has to be something huge. When you think about the last 3-4 years or whatever it is of Roman with the belt and stuff like that, and how he has faced everyone. And I know there's been lots of interference matches and all that kind of stuff and contrived kind of stuff and all, but it has to be something big. And I think with Gunther as well, how he's brought so much shine back to that IC belt and prestige. I think he really needs to be big when he drops the belt. It needs to be massive. And I just don't know whether Chad and Sammy in that match at WrestleMania is enough. That's my thinking. But I'm looking forward to when Gunther drops the belt, because I assume what it's going to do, it's going to catapult him up into either the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship picture. And then I'm looking forward to see how he steps up again. And I'm also looking forward to see whoever picks up the IC belt, are they going to grab it and run with it and put in that same level of work that Gunther put in and still make it that prestigious belt that it is. That belt that was the gatekeeper belt for the world belt back in the day. That's how it feels again now. Eric, the big problem with Drew is that he's fighting a world champion who doesn't seem particularly worried about him, which I guess makes sense that he's beaten him twice already, but still. I don't know, did you catch the video clip? Drew McIntyre at the moment is just on fire. Absolutely on fire. It's just unbelievable. You hear him talking about Seth as a junkie and all this kind of thing. And you can see where it's going. People are going, oh, what do you mean by this? Let's be careful where we're going here now. No, pretty cool. But I don't know if you all seen the clip of him when he pulled up to the fence with all the fans and he just started playing cult of personality and driving off laughing at them and all. I just think he's absolutely brilliant at the moment. Follow him, folks, on his socials, because it's the stuff he's putting up is crazy. Bonker, Sammy is good, but he's been IC champ many times. Need to be someone who hasn't. Yeah, yeah, and it needs to be big as well. This needs to be one that happens. Rikishi return confirmed. Interesting. Gobbledygooker to return and beat Roman Reigns and set in the same night. Come on, that's a stretch now, Steve. That's a stretch. Tamatonga will cost Cody on night 2. Don't know about that. There's plenty of other people in line to cost him that way before that guy, but we shall see. Eric, they could at least try to not make it obvious the world heavyweight title is second best. It is second best, isn't it? Yeah, they make it fair. See, even when they call it, even when they've been referring to it as the workers' belt, the workers' belt even feels a little less prestigious in terms of us as fans. Obviously, the workers' belt is very prestigious in terms of the workers and the wrestlers and the roster and stuff like that. But to us, it's kind of like, yeah, that's the layman's belt, that kind of way. So it's interesting. Yeah, but absolutely. Kenny's in. Think Heyman is copping the Bullet Club fingers point from The Rock. He gave it a worrying look last Friday. This is going to be great storytelling at Mania. It is. It's a lot of layers to this, isn't there? And they're laying the groundwork for lots of other stuff after it as well. I genuinely see Rock screwing Roman, but also see Seth doing Cody in the back. It's too obvious for Cody to win. If that's the case, the bookies will be cleared out. They certainly will. Certainly will. They never give great pricing. That's the only thing. I like Acer's take on Thomas screwing Cody. So much is going to play out at this Mania. It's going to be one not to be missed. So many avenues they could run with. Yeah, absolutely. Eric. Drew is definitely on another level right now. He is, Eric, isn't he? That one the other day with the fans and they were giving them guff and he just starts laughing at them out the window and playing cult of personality and just driving off with it blaring out the window. Quality, real old school, it's nearly late 80s, early 90s heelish heat, isn't it? Henry's in. Big up, Henry. How are you, my friend? What's the crack, Noel? All good. And Bonkers is in as well. What if Sheamus returned last minute to cost Sammy? I'd love to see Sheamus versus Gunther for the belt at Mania. I have to say, that's what I would be leaning towards. And in fairness, I think Sheamus has put in the shift. I know he's been out injured, but boy, God, those matches with Gunther were sensational. What's the story, Henry? All good. Acers. Cody Rhodes will definitely win Money in the Bank briefcase, then cashing in at Madison Square Garden show. Yeah, absolutely. Good viewing, Richie. Good viewing there. That's what you want to hear. What else have we got? Andrade defeated Cruz, Balor, yeah, and then Zayn defeated Ivar, and McIntyre pinned Uso. Car crash stuff that was. What do you make, folks, of Jey Uso? Main event, no main event. Need to get the Usos back together pretty quick. What you thinking on it? Two of them separated. The sum of the parts is not equal to when they're taken apart. Sure, it's not. The Usos need to be together. They need to be together. Right, let's see what we want to talk about. What else have we got? Quick update on the world. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have been confirmed for the world, I presume, as VIP guests and stuff like that. You can see tickets are available. They range between 30 and 300. Not sure. I presume 300 is the top end stuff, sort of like VIP and that kind of thing. But the two boys have been confirmed. We'll add to this slide as the weeks get closer and as they confirm more people. My gut feeling is I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton's in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul's in there. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Rhea Ripley's in there. So they will add to this as they go along. Anyone who has attended Fan Access or the WrestleCons or any of that kind of stuff, they're sensational and often live up more to the billing. Let's talk about John Cena. Chris Van Vliet show. Always a very good podcast, always very entertaining. He said during the Iron Claw premiere night, John Cena stated he told former AEW World Champion MJF that maybe we can get you to play for the right team one day. Interesting. He also talked about this. What do you make of this that he mentioned? He was talking about turning heel during the feud with The Rock for WrestleMania 28. He said a new song was prepared, all new gear, 7 new singlets, low-cut singlets with boxing-type robes, and was ready to go, but in the end thought it was a bad idea. What you're thinking on that, folks? John Cena should have turned heel. WrestleMania 28 with The Rock. How do you feel about that? Let me know your thoughts on that. Where are we? Bless up, Henry. There you go, Daz. Yo, Daz. Dynamite new color scheme is NXT 2.0. Yeah, they're maybe they've been listening to our podcast where we told them that they kind of need to up their game in terms of their presentation and catch up a little bit with WWE, who absolutely knock it out of the park. Kenny, let the Usos scrap at Mania, get it out of their system and move on. Usos need to get back together. Absolutely, Kenny, spot on. That's my thinking as well. Love the Usos. Cena wants MJF to join WWE. He does. That would be cool. I'm good, Niall. Just eating dinner. Enjoy, Henry. Enjoy. Some other interesting points came out of that interview as well, folks. So if you get a chance, go check it out and stuff like that. He mentioned Chris, one of the things Chris asked him actually was what was his favorite world championship that he won, his favorite match, stuff like that. And he turned around and said the next one. So he doesn't feel like it's gone by him yet. And obviously the whole match with Solo has just been forgotten about and erased from the record, basically, as they say. So yeah, but go check it out. It's well worth checking it out. Obviously, when Cena's getting interviewed, there's always some nice little bits in there to talk about. Right. So we have an update on WrestleMania. The match, tag match, Rock, Reigns, Cody set for night one. Zero interference versus Bloodline rules is what's on the line here for Cody. So I would imagine very important for Cody and Seth to pick up the win. Don't think he's going to pick up the win, but let's see what happens in the tag match. We got the Women's Championship, of course, Io Sky versus Bayley. One I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to Bayley potentially winning that. I think she will. The Undisputed one, you got Roman versus Cody then, which they're probably saying is going to fold into night two if that's the way it goes. Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Again, if you want to let me know your thoughts on that, you happy for that to be a straight up 1-versus-1? Or is there room in the end for Liv Morgan? Is there room at the end for Nia Jax? Or is there room at the end for Tiffany Stratton even? Let me know. Should other people be involved in that, or is it a straight up match? Let me know your thoughts. And then we have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre confirmed for night two. And that's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Another one I'm looking forward to. I have to think Drew was nailed on for this. I don't see this going any other way. I think some of it is predictable. I think what's keeping the unpredictability in it is the kind of, what's going to come out of the tag match and various things like that. So let's see what happens there. Rumors coming out, of course. Acer said it earlier. CM Punk apparently could be the guest referee for the World Heavyweight match. They were talking about Gunther originally versus Braun Breaker. Could I see it going back that way? Probably not. I'm not too sure now that they have this match established for it. Let us know your thoughts on how it's going to go. Some people are talking about Sammy. Jey Uso versus Jimmy obviously is going to happen. You're going to have the battle of the Usos by the looks of things. The Undisputed Tag Judgment Day, they're talking about Miz and R-Truth. But I think it might continue on potentially with Imperium. Let's see what happens. And then there was talk of a ladder match for the US belt. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and LA Knight. Kind of a mini money in the bank, if you like, kind of thing situation, So let us know your thoughts. And that's some of the rumors just floating around. We'll update the slide every week with the latest rumors and confirmations of anything that's come in. Rikishi is special. Rikishi is special referee for Jay and Jimmy. Is he? Is that confirmed? I just have to put that out there. Or is that's out there on the ether, as they say? MJF definitely belongs in WWE. True, he get away with edgier kind of stuff in AEW, but he just seems more compatible with the WWE product. He does indeed. Bianca Belair versus Tiffany, and Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. It's going to be a lot of loading of women's matches into WrestleMania weekend if that's what happens. I could see that more being a fatal four-way for a number one contenders or something like that. That's a lot of women's. That's a lot of women's stuff they're putting out there. Let me know though. I think Rock screws Roman on night one, which forces Roman to face Cody one-on-one. I think Cody needs to win clean as a whistle. No interference on night two. Has to be. That would be I 100% agree with you there, Kenny. The only thing I would think of is that's mainly what people are expecting to happen. And that's kind of where they might put a twist in there and change it up. I have a funny feeling all roads at that belt kind of lead to Seth. They really do. I think I wouldn't be surprised if something happens there and all roads lead to Seth, and then Seth ends up dropping the belt to Cody at MSG or something like that. I don't know, but they'd have to figure out the pathway. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Owens for US Championship. They're going with a triple threat, you're thinking. And LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Okay. Are you done with podcasting, Henry? No, I don't think he is. He's back at it. Told me last week, or he said it last week on one of the shows. He was back at it, didn't he? Jade and someone versus Kabuki Warriors. Yeah, I think the girls are. Yeah, I think the tag belts, isn't it? So I think they're going to look at they're potentially looking at probably Baszler, aren't they? Baszler and Stark for to go up against them for the belts, I'd say. And probably that's where they drop them, which would be interesting enough. But that's everything we've kind of have so far updated for WrestleMania and stuff like that. Obviously, the big news was the acceptance of the tag match on Raw. Could be Bianca or Naomi. Yeah. What you making, Naomi, folks? It's come back. It's kind of been a bit clunky, hasn't it? It hasn't kind of been what we thought it might be. Obviously, it was very cool coming back at the Rumble and stuff like that, but it hasn't quite been what we may have thought it was going to be. So this is what's confirmed for next week on Raw from Houston, Texas, from the Toyota Center, of course. Becky versus Liv Morgan. I just think there's more to come in that Rhea Ripley match. I think the way the chamber went and the reaction of the chamber, I think has them thinking maybe a little bit differently. So let's see what happens. And then you got your tag match next week, actually, the Women's Championship. That's it for next week, actually. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. That's one I'm actually looking forward to. And then that gauntlet match. How do we see that gauntlet match going? Normally, when you're front and center, Baz was saying it to me today in the shop, when you're front and center, normally it's an indication. So that could mean either Sami or it could mean Bronson Reed. I don't see it being Shinsuke, and I don't see it being Ricochet. I think both men will bring a lot to the match, but I don't see them coming out victorious. Gable is the obvious one and stuff like that because he's had his bit of history with Gunther. I don't know. You got a little JD McDonough there in the background on the right there, and I don't know. There's something there. Could we see a Judgment Day versus Imperium, faction versus faction kind of feuds going on? And that was the case, that'd be pretty cool. But that's what's coming up on Raw next week, confirmed so far, and certainly it's going to be very interesting. But 3 matches that we should be really looking forward to that are going to have impacts on the road to WrestleMania. As we said earlier, we just confirmed on this, and we keep this updated every week as well. Bull Nakano confirmed today. Kind of a shock for me. I definitely wasn't expecting that, probably like you guys as well. Came out first of all, and then it was confirmed about, and it came out as a whisper first of all, and then it was confirmed about an hour later by WWE and Triple H. So far we got Paul Heyman and Bull Nakano. Very good career in All Japan. Kind of a moment in WCW and a moment in WWE. Was women's champion for I think 134 days before dropping the belt back to Alundra Blaze just prior to WrestleMania. Or just after it, maybe it was. So not a huge career in terms of all that kind of stuff. But certainly when we talk about the Hall of Fame, and we've been critical, all of us for talking about it, that like a kind of at times they induct people just out of the blue that kind of haven't really had the impact on wrestling, might have been involved in WWE, but not necessarily climbed in through the ropes and that kind of thing. So for Bull, she's going to take her place in the class of 2024. As previously women's world champion, and probably more so for her work in All Japan and stuff like that. So we wish her the best of luck and congratulations on being the second inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame 2024. Now, where are we? There, Henry's in. Now, Richard came back 2 weeks ago, but only on Twitter and Insta. There we go. Bonkers. Think that is next Monday Raw. I think it is. That is next Monday's Raw. Absolutely. From the Toyota Center in Houston. Copenhagen 2-1 still to City, is it? It's still 2-1 to City, I would imagine. That's what it's not hardly 2-1 Copenhagen, is it? Just finish your never ending story for feck's sake. Yeah, it is kind of getting to that stage, isn't it now? It's kind of like, God. Damian Priest will be cashing in the briefcase after losing tag team championship to Awesome Truth. Okay. Do you know what I was thinking? And like, you all know from listening to me on the shows and stuff like that, my booking does be out there. Out there. I was thinking, what if JD McDonough won the IC belt off Gunter? And what if Priest cashed in on the IC? Just a thought. Just a thought. What did you make of this one, folks? Sammy Guevara being suspended by AEW over the match with Jeff Hardy. Not following concussion protocol, apparently, and wanting to finish the match. Do you reckon that's what's at the heart of this? A lot of whispers as well about Mercedes Moné coming in next week, I think it is. Acers was telling us last week. And he's had plenty to say about Mercedes Moné as well. So it's a case of getting this guy out of the way, and they're using the match and the protocol as the excuse for Mercedes Moné coming in, or is it just related to the Jeff Hardy match? Let us know your thoughts. What do you think on that? Yeah, that's that one. What else have we got? Let's see what else. That's basically it for that stuff at the moment, folks. So we'll get into a bit of history. Strap yourselves in on this one, because there is this week wasn't a good week for pro wrestling. There was a few deaths in it, as they say, which isn't good, 5 years he's out for. 5 years he's out for. Okay, interesting. Ridiculous cocaine can call. Yeah. I don't think it's so much. It's the fluffing of the excuse as opposed to maybe what the real reason is. Right, let's get into some history. Let's talk some history. I love this part of the show. 2010, Angelino Poffo, the father of Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo, passed away, aged 75. 2019, former WrestleMania headliner King Kong Bundy passed away at the age of 62. King Kong Bundy. 1994, the Tasmaniac and Kevin Sullivan defeated the Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don Harris, to win the ECW World Tag Team Championships. 1994. Good Lord, how long ago was that? 2013, William Paul Bearer Moody passed away as a result of a heart attack, aged 58. So young. 2017, WWE presented their Fastlane pay-per-view at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I hated this. The main event saw Goldberg defeat Kevin Owens to win the Universal Championship in just 23 seconds. Absolutely hated it. 2004, Ray Fernandez, better known as Hercules in WWE, died as a result of heart failure, age 46. I was only watching WrestleMania 3 today. I wanted to go back and watch his match with Billy Jack Haynes with the chains. Good Lord, those boys opened each other up. And I kind of, what jogged it was obviously Billy Jack Haynes obviously in trouble at the moment, and it looks like he's going to be facing charges in relation to the death of his wife, who he allegedly shot. Hercules. 1987, WWF held a tag team tournament in East Rutherford, New Jersey. In the final match, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the Hart Foundation, were victorious over the team of Rick Martel and Tom Zink, better known as the Can-Am Connection. 1991, in Montgomery, Alabama, Rick and Scott Steiner defeated the Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, to win the NWA World Tag Team Championship belts. 1996, ECW Big Ass Extreme Bash is held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The show was the last appearance of Cactus Jack Mick Foley in ECW before leaving to become Mankind in the WWF. Mick Foley, shout out to Mick Foley. Is Mick a show? Is Mick a show for Paul Heyman? Who knows? 2009, on Monday Night Raw, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, defeated CM Punk to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship, making him the 10th Grand Slam champion in WWE history. He would lose the belt the following month at WrestleMania 25 and then retire from being active wrestler. Faced Rey Mysterio, I think it is, at Mania 25. And it was over the back issues, wasn't it? The back issues forced his retirement. 2015, WWE announced that Conor the Crusher Michalek would posthumously receive the Warrior Award at WrestleMania 31. What a moment. What a moment. Tough. Remember Daniel Bryan going through it at the time and stuff like that. Really, really tough. And it was a tough one to watch as well and stuff like that, you know. Such a young kid going through that amount of suffering. Never good. Right, let's take some comments before I get all emotional. With Darby Allin wrestling Switchblade Jay White on the next big business Dynamite, then leaving to climb Mount Everest. Yeah, seeing that, yeah. And Khan at the presser reminding him, before you go off to climb a mountain, you have one more match. But yeah, I wonder what they're going to do then with Darby Allin when he comes back off that. Are they going to have to repackage him? Are they going to have to get him to settle down? He's having a bit of a death wish at the moment in terms of some of the stuff he's doing. It's crazy. Promoters Tony Khan and Herd Abrams seem to have a lot in common. You have to elaborate, and you can't just throw that out there for us. Let's take some notable birthdays then. David Flair, 1979. Mr. Anderson, 1976. I think he was just on Morris's podcast, actually. So make sure you're checking out Morris's podcast. Val Venus, 1971. Killer Khan, 1947. Tyler Bate, only a baby, 1997. Bruce Pritchard, 1963. Melina, 1979. Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin, 1960. And of course, I had to round it out with Nikita Koloff, 1959, who was in attendance in Greensboro Coliseum the other night for Sting's final match. Such a big fan of Nikita Koloff, I have to say. What a wrestler. I got to go. Doing a live, Niall. Enjoy it, Henry. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Talk to you soon. That's it, folks. One other piece of information, of course. SummerSlam, the biggest summer of the party, or the biggest party of the summer, I should say. Got that all twisted up. Is coming to the Cleveland Browns, and it's coming to Cleveland. Interesting choice of location, I have to say, for the biggest party of the summer. Let me know your thoughts on that. I wasn't expecting it to go there, but smashing looking stadium, I have to say. Looks amazing if that's where it's going to be. But SummerSlam heading to Cleveland this summer. Going to be sweltering warm, that's for sure. But let us know your thoughts. Looking forward to seeing Okada on Dynamite tonight. Yeah, we'll do a little, probably drop a little short on that tomorrow or something like that. I'll catch it in the morning. I'll have to catch it. I can't stay up. I'm getting too old for these late nights. One a month is enough for me at this stage. If AEW had a Hall of Fame, who would induct Sting? Who would induct Sting? There's a question. Flair. Flair's the obvious choice, isn't it? Flair would be the obvious choice. Luger. DDP. Any of those guys that were in attendance. But Sting or Ric Flair would be the big one. Yeah, I'd imagine. David Crockett could do it. David Crockett really gave him his proper start in the business and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, good question, Daz. I like that. They're the ones I like in here. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah, makes sense. And a nice big build up to it as well. Sports Kid expected Okada to debut tonight in AEW. That's right. That's the talk. He's going to debut tonight. And then I think we have Mercedes Moné next week. Aces was telling us last night as well. Darby. Yeah. We are now over and out, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. There you go. There's the gaffer coming in to let me know. It's time. Eric, probably Darby, but I think the first people who be inducted in the AEW Hall of Fame is either Brody Lee, and if not him, Chris Jericho. Known AEW, Tony Khan would be the first induction into the Hall of Fame. Tony Khan, probably. You know, the Elite, they'd all induct themselves in there straight away. We could probably rattle off the first class, couldn't we? First class would be Tony Khan, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and probably Jericho or something like that, and Sting maybe. They wouldn't have enough. They'd only have enough to do. If they were going to do a Hall of Fame, what would they do? Probably 2 a year max. 2 a year. They'd run out of people pretty quick. Onana face off against AJ was tense. It was. Ngannou versus AJ. I'm really looking forward to that actually. That's going to be excellent. I might do a little short on that tomorrow as well because I have some views on it and stuff like that. But listen, another belter of a weekend coming up of sport, isn't it? They just roll around now so quick. Right, folks, that's it. That's it for this week. Kind of a little bit tame on this show at the moment in terms of the road to WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of starting to take shape, but we'll see where it takes us. Plenty to be revealed over the next couple of weeks anyway, and we'll be right here on the Upper Tier Pro Wrestling Weekly every Wednesday, bringing you all the latest news, gossip, opinion, everything else. What more would you want? I seen Fury was there tonight, Daz, and he was actually told by Ngannou to stay away because out on the street is not the same fight as a controlled fight in the ring. I don't know if you've seen that. He was putting it up to him. For the Elite, Tony. Absolutely. They would induct him then, you know. Until next time, folks, I'm back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock with Dazzler for Thursday Tier Talk. And Friday, I'll be doing a preview for the Man City game coming this Sunday. So until next time, folks, stay safe. Thanks for joining us as always. Subscribe, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, all that good stuff. We always appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the shows as we add more and more stuff to it. And again, if you have any suggestions, always drop us a DM or send us a comment on anything you'd like us to cover. Plenty of time to squeeze stuff in for you guys. You guys in the chat are what makes this show. So until next time, folks, talk to you again real soon. Cheers.